Hey guys, today I want to do a little bit of a geography lesson. Um, so you don't get to see me today. Kind of wish I could flick between the screens, but I either can't or I haven't figured out how to do that yet. Anyway, so right now I am in the middle of working on book 4, which has the mermaids in it. And I'm actually beginning to work on expanding my world map. So you only see the little yellow ones are kind of I guess that's somewhat of a spoiler for book 4. Look at the orange ones. I don't have that one finished. There are going to be more palaces, but the orange ones are the palaces of the mermaids. And obviously the oceans are huge, and so there are not just 3. There were just 2 when I started this book until I realized, what's wrong with me? I mean, look at the United States. How can there be that many places of Magani? And then you get up in the waters and there were only like 2. So right now I'm working on expanding, and soon you'll be able to see the palaces from all over the oceans. The palaces you will get to be around. There's Palace 1 where the story, oh, I wish that would look better, where the story begins. And over here you have Triton's palace and then Edmund's palace. You'll remember Edmund from book 1 and Triton from book 1 too. You did not meet Elena. You will meet her in book 4. Anyway, so that's under construction right now. But I do have most of them in the United States are kind of ready. One thing I want to talk about is, you know, I'm an Oklahoma girl, and so the castle is, of course, right about somewhere-ish where I kind of live. The Dwarves Den, Maternity Mountain in particular, that happens south in Oklahoma. And the Dwarves Den, if you notice, it's actually decorated with stuff from Oklahoma's history, which was a really exciting, geeky, nerdy thing for me to do, but I loved it. You don't really know about the safe house until the end of book 3 and part of book 4, but it's up north. You know, where these are just kind of general. But I wanted to give you an idea of where things actually were in the books. So let's go over, oh, also in book 1, you have Stronghold 1, and you kind of have the area where Faunus and Fauna had one of their home bases. The fawns, they migrate a lot, and so they actually kind of have like little safe houses of their own, just randomly, but this is like one of their main ones. Okay, so that's book 1 right there. Book 2, of course, starts over here, and you spend time in that Dwarf's Den, and then over here is where you actually have Stronghold 2 and the Appalachian Den. And then I'm trying to think if there's, oh yes, I missed one. I am so sorry. Down here, this is actually from book 1. Charlotte and Beau visit his uncle's, and of course that's going to be more on the coast, but like I said, I just kind of throw those down in the area. But that is the bird's prison that you'll kind of see throughout the first 3 books. Okay, so back to 2. You have these 2 right here for the end of it. And then the only other thing that's different for book 2 is you've got, come on, okay. You've eventually got the cabin, which is David's cabin, where he's trained all of his bazillions of apprentices. And then when you start book 3, you end book 2 and start book 3 at the cabin. And then you're also going to have, of course, a little bit of the, this is making me sick. I hope it's not making you sick. Here's the new part that I introduce. You got Briar Rubus over here, which I love, love, love this area. And then here's another one from book 1, 2, 3, forever. You know, you have your palace area where Beau and his families were. You notice you have, I haven't talked about some of these, but you have the Dwarves Den and Elfsbriar around it too. Here is an ancient eyrie. Let me back up a little bit so you can kind of see better. You have another bird's eyrie, where this is actually where a raven was born. You have a secret bird's eyrie. Kind of see a little bit about centaurs. We haven't gotten to them yet, but you notice all over the United States, this is kind of giving up some spoilers here. You've got different spots where they kind of get together. Elves again, elves, elves, elves. They also have a lot of smaller briars. And that's another thing. The dwarves have their dens, the elves have their briars. What am I missing? The birds have their eyries. This is kind of a spoilerish kind of part for into book 4, I would say. And then let's just hit the rest of the coast right here. Oh my goodness, I forgot that was here. That's like a major spoiler. Spoiler! Can you figure out who that's talking about? And then down here, let's see, we have the dwarves, another dwarves den. And of course you have a palace over here, which you saw on the other map. Okay, so we have it. So that's my basic geography. I kind of wanted to have a nod off to my country because I love it. And so here's where you got a lot of them hiding. You notice that I do not have anything from the fairies, but they're in here somewhere. And then there are other creatures. There are other creatures that are probably, like you have the centaurs, but you know, you have your unitar, and you're not going to see where Lodestar. She has a castle cabin too, but I don't have that on the map yet. I feel like all I'm doing is doing spoilers. Anyway, this will expand and grow, and we'll come back to it, but I wanted to give you a sneak peek into what's going on and some of the places and about where they are. And of course, when I try to go into each of the briars or the dens or the eyries, I try my hardest to integrate what was regional in their decorations, and some of the Brutani and bad guys I have are actually connected or inspired by tall tales or by folk tales, or you know, just stuff like that. Some magical creatures. Some of my magical creatures, of course, are from all over the world, and some of them are just from the United States. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this, and we'll have more fun stuff later. Talk to you later, guys. Battle bravely, love strongly. Bye.